world. Michael Unbroken here, author, speaker, coach, and advocate for adult survivors of childhood trauma. Hey guys, I hope that you're doing well. I am currently traveling, so a little bit of a different setup than usual. I guess I'm always really traveling, but normally I try to record the podcast from the studio so that when we get here, you kind of have that continuity. So forgive me for the difference. And if you're just listening to this, you have no idea anyway, so it doesn't matter. I just got done doing an Instagram live and sharing some things and thinking about really, I think the most profound thing happening in my life right now is this idea of committing. And what I mean by that is putting yourself in a position where you're making decisions and then creating action around those decisions without trying to figure out the space in between. Now look, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when you go, all right, I'm committing, I'm all in, I'm going to go for it, it's not going to work out. But you're going to learn. You're going to have data points. You're going to have lessons from these moments in which you took a risk that you're going to be able to carry on with you into what's next in your life. So often we get caught up in this space of trying to figure out all the details before we take the first step. And you know as well as I do that every time that you sit and try to figure out all the details, it never works out. Like every time that you do that, something happens, something gets in the way, you don't have all the plans, there's a breakdown in the system, so on and so forth, and then you never take that step. And as I think about this and the impact that it's had on my life, this idea of committing and then figuring it out, when I was young, when I was in my teens and my 20s, people all the time would tell me, Michael, you're crazy. You're just going to do that. You're going to try that thing. You're going to take that risk. And I was always just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, why not? Why not take the risk? Why not try the thing? Because you don't know what's going to happen on the other side of it. And I would put myself in, I'm not going to lie, some very precarious situations. You know, I remember one time I was in this job like people would kill for, and it wasn't for me. I got there and I thought it was for me, and then it turned out it wasn't for me, and I jumped ship and I started my first business. And for 3 years I suffered, like for real suffered. Like it was so incredibly hard, and it wiped me out financially, and it put me in this weird position where I had to go and get another job to support it while I was growing another business, and I was over committed, right? So now I'm in this place where I'm thinking about those moments and going, oh shit, I was overcommitted. And because of that, I was stretched too thin. And because of that, I wasn't able to be successful in any of the avenues in which I was trying to operate. So I think about commitment in this. Can you get singularly focused on one task, one goal, one idea, one thing that can change your life? And I've mentioned this before, and if you've listened to this for any amount of time, you know how I feel. Sometimes you have to take a risk and challenge yourself to doing incredibly uncomfortable things so that on the backside that you grow. If you don't take risk, if you don't do hard things, if you don't invest in yourself, like things aren't going to change. This year, just for full transparency, I'm investing more money into myself in 1 year than most people do in an entire lifetime. And this is just a continuation of what I've always done. When I go and look at any of the personal growth development conferences, getting Franklin Covey certified, going through the Sigma 6 black belt bullshit, which I can't even stand that. It's a whole nother conversation. And then like now getting certifications from the leading experts in trauma, you know, from Pete Walker to Bessel van der Kolk and everybody in between. Constantly committing to getting better every day. And that commitment applies across the board. Like, how do you invest in yourself to make your life better at every opportunity? People are so caught up about money and that being the barrier to whether or not they're able to step into their life with full power and authenticity and growth and potential. And they look at it and they go, well, there's money involved, so it's too risky. I know one thing about life, and a former partner told me this, and it was super important to me, and it changed the way that I think about it. Money will always come back to you when you invest in yourself first. Money will always come back to you when you invest in yourself first. And so whether you're doing a high ticket coaching program or whether you're doing, these funnel challenges or listening to this podcast, whatever, like you're investing in yourself, you're giving yourself that. And to think, so I started the coaching challenge, right? I started this in-depth program that's on the backside of the book, right? So if you've read Think Unbroken and Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma, I super appreciate you, because that book was incredibly detailed and dense and difficult to write, and only the baseline. It's literally only the baseline. And so I sat with that and I was like, wait a second. If Think Unbroken is only the baseline and that's not really enough, because if I wanted to put everything in there, it'd be 700 pages long and no one would ever read it. I thought to myself, okay, what can I do to make this better? How can I really create impact in people's lives? And I said, oh, of course, I'm going to run a course. Why? Why not? That makes perfect sense. I'm going to commit to that. I'm just going to figure it out on the way. I'm going to create a launch date. I'm going to tell everybody about it. And then I'm going to have 50 people join my first course without a course existing. Now, of course, at the time, they didn't know that. So side note, now you know. But at the end of it, every single one of them, I got testimonials. You can go and check out healtraumacoach.com. It is all there, right? The testimonials of their experience are game-changing and life-changing for them. Because in just as much as I committed, first off, to create an immense amount of value, to make sure that on the backside of this course, something would be different, they committed financially to changing their life. We are so caught up on $97, $57, $500, $10,000. I mean, I literally just, and this is not a flex, I swear to God, it's not. You know, I came from poverty. I was money illiterate for the vast majority of my life. And I recently invested $20,000 into a program. And that is so that I can learn and grow and become better. And there are people who are terrified to invest $90 or $50 or $7 because they're afraid to commit to the possibility that on the backside of the action, their life might be different. And if you are one of those people, you have to start changing the narrative that you have with yourself about committing to possibility. Because if money is going to be the thing that's keeping you from getting to where you want to go, you're never going to go anywhere, because there will never be enough money. There will never be enough money. I'm telling you right now, I've made fucking $3 an hour and I've made $300 an hour. And everywhere in between, it hasn't mattered, because there was always that thought of there's not enough, there's not enough, there's not enough. And today, I'll tell you this, I am the most successful I've ever been in my life at 35 and a half, almost 36 years old. Most successful I've ever been in my life. And I am dead broke because I invest every penny back into learning. Every single penny I make. Every single penny goes back into my health, my well-being, my mental, emotional, and physical well-being. I am committed to being the best version of Michael that I can be in everything that I do. And I can promise you that there was a time when I lived in such a poor mentality about money that I only bought clothes from the Goodwill. That's it. Because I was like, fuck, I'm not paying $25 for a shirt. And what I knew then is totally different what I know now. Now, of course, I'm still, like, real talk, I'm cheap ass. Like, to me, I'm not going to spend $50 for a shirt unless it's a nice, like, dress-up shirt, which I have done. I'm going to put that money into my education. I didn't go to college. I have no college degree. I didn't graduate high school on time. I can barely fucking read or write. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes. I ask you guys this all the time. What are you willing to do to have the life that you want to have? And that means, for me, what am I willing to do to have the life that I want to have? Investing in myself entirely and fully, and so committed to my healing journey that I put everything on the line for it. Everything. Because if you're not willing to do what it takes, then on the backside, you don't get to make any excuses. And I had someone message me the other day and they were like, $97 is too much for this course. And I was like, how much is too much for the rest of your life? $500, $1,000, $20,000, doesn't matter. Like, when you think about this, the money you can always get back. I promise you, you heal trauma, you heal your body, your mental, physical, emotional, you will make more money than you ever have in your life. But money is not the precursor to what I consider to be satiation. Money is not the precursor to growth. Money is not the precursor to anything. Money is a tool. It is only a tool to get from where you are to where you want to go. And many of us, me included, I fucking put my hand in this pile for sure, have had a very traumatic relationship with money. A lot of the experiences that I had as a child, being in poverty and being homeless and only wearing Goodwill shoes and sometimes only wearing clothes from the church and drinking powdered milk. If you haven't had powdered milk, then you're not poor. I promise you, you've never been poor. And we would drink this powdered milk and this pantry food and literally government cheese and live in HUD housing and the whole nine. The whole nine. And so none of this is a flex, guys. None of that. I swear to God. I'm just making a point. When you change your relationship with how you invest in yourself, your life will be different because you're putting yourself first. And it's easy to be in this feast or fathom mentality, whereas you look at money and you go, man, I can't, I shouldn't, I better not. That $97, well, guess what? Chances are you're using Netflix and Spotify and Uber and going to Starbucks and paying for shit that you don't need. But when you are faced with investing in yourself to create change in your life, you're hesitant. You really need to ask yourself what the fuck is going on there. I mean, I remember at one point I turned off. There was no subscriptions. I was eating fucking ramen noodles 5 years ago. 5 years ago even, because I was investing all of my money into myself. At that point, it was my physical health. I was spending a tremendous amount of time and effort and energy and money into physical therapy, into acupuncture, into deep tissue massage, which, I mean, I used to lay on this table and just cry, like all of the pain getting removed from my body. And I made a decision. I made a choice to commit to myself. And so what I want you to think about moving forward, not only in this moment, but for the rest of your life, is how committed are you to your life? Like, how committed are you actually to your life and to what is next? Because if you're not fully committed, nothing is going to change. Action, my friends, is the difference between where you are and where you want to go. So I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me as usual. I appreciate you so much. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, share this with a friend, tell somebody. Please check out healtraumacoach.com. We're about to start the next round of the community coaching program. I promise you that investment will change your life. Go watch the testimonial videos. These people are not paid. They're not fucking actors. These are people who went through this program whose life is now different. So, my friend, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day and be unbroken. I'll see ya.